And it's a pleasure to welcome Dion Dublin again. Welcome, Dion.
How are you doing?
What are your thoughts on Roy Keane calling Haaland a League 2 player?
I'd take Haaland at League 1, Cambridge United, please. But in the game at the moment, there's very few players who will stick their head above the parapet and say, I'll look after us, our leaders. Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins, there's your backup. Take them both.
Daniel wants to ask if you've ever gone upstairs and found that there aren't any bedrooms.
Yes, I have, many times.
Where are the up-and-coming places to buy a house with good local amenities and schools?
Leave it out,
This
mate.
is a classic.
Leave it.
We were gonna start the episode, but then Dion nipped to the car and brought back some of his musical instruments. Dion, tell us.
I know this. Now, this goes back a long time. The Shakers go back about 10 years, and I've always been into my percussion. I put those on top of your questions so you
Did you bring
can't
a
see.
blue one just for me as
For
well?
you, yes, exactly. Yeah,
Thank
see.
you.
Yeah, city colours.
There you go.
Blue moon.
Gosh, I should have invented a red one. Now I've only got the light blue. And I've always been like a percussionist, so to speak, but not knowing it, because I've got 3 brothers. My sister, when she was alive, played piano. My mum, when she was alive, played mandolin. My dad still plays bass now at 86. Wow. I've got 3 brothers that got bass guitar and drums. And I was the one that was left out, so I thought, I've got to do something. When I broke my leg at Manchester United, I picked up the sax, and I self-taught myself the sax.
Taught yourself?
Yeah, self-taught myself the sax. I got a cast from my toes to my groin, broke my leg, as you well know. And there's only so many jigsaws you can do.
So you could read music then?
No, I can't read music. I
just
can't read a note, just off my
yeah.
ear and what I heard.
Okay.
So I did that for so long. I can still play the sax, but percussion's my natural go-to.
Hey, what are you sat on?
I'm sat on something I invented called the Jube. I invented this about 2006 when I was at Norwich. I literally went from training to a hardware store, got 6 pieces of wood, hammer nails, just made a box, just a square cube, a hollow wooden box. And I started hitting it. I thought, sounds all right. Sounds okay, that. And then I progressed it. And now I made this one that I'm sat on, which is a bit bigger.
And it's a drum?
Yeah.
Brilliant, isn't it?
So yeah.
Everybody's going here, by the
Yeah,
way.
I know. And you can just tap, and there you go. She's not back.
Yes.
And it's just a passion to make rhythms and to make beats and stuff. And I do it all the time. I get my ear chewed off by my wife.
Give us a few who's used it then. Come on. Who's been delighted?
So many people. Ash Sohn, who's a drummer who's played on Adele's 21. Robbie Williams' drummer plays it. Usher's drummer's played it. Stevie Wonder's drummer's played it. I used to do what do they call shows like the shows that do at the NEC. What are they called again? Exhibitions, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So there's one
a stalling and
absolutely with a stalling, yeah. So I did I did about 6 in LA. There's a show in LA called the NAMM show, NAMM, and it's just about musical instruments. It's like equivalent to the NEC.
Yes.
In Anaheim, massive convention centre.
Yes.
Drums on the first floor, guitars over there, bass over there, percussion over there, and I'd go there and I did that for like 10 years. Taking the Jube over there, all these containers, shipped it over, blah 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 blah. Had me little own stand. It was great fun.
Yeah,
it was great fun.
Well, before we start the episode, Sam, shall we have a little?
Yes.
Well, following you.
Yes. It's easy.
The No Tippy Tappy percussion band. Thank you for joining us for another episode of No Tippy Tappy Football, brought to you by William Hill. Hey, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, Shirley. Looking forward to today.
I'm very much looking
As always.
forward. Yes. Would you like to get straight in, introduce our guest?
Well, our conversation before we've got on air today and what we might see before, I'm speaking to an entrepreneur, no less. I think that looking at what he's done and what he's done after his football career is absolutely fantastic. So, and obviously his football career was outstanding. And it's a pleasure to welcome Dion Dublin again. Welcome, Dion.
How are you doing?
Hey, Dion.
Good.
Good, yeah.
I'm back.
He's
You're
back.
and it's pretty much
delighted.
12 months to the day since the last time you were on.
Is it really?
It is.
Well, it's good fun. We had good fun last time, so let's pick it up and crack on again, eh?
No, but you've got to talk about this.
I know.
I mean, we're just talking there for the first time, and he goes, I do this, you know, and I do that, and I do, you know.
Is he?
So he's got his instruments out, or what he's made and what he's set up, and it's absolutely unbelievable. And the people who have obviously used them and that, so yeah, they're really, really very, very good indeed.
Thanks, Sam. Honestly, mate, it's just a passion that I've wanted to try and bring out of me.
But music's in the family, Dion, you were saying before.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
So.
Brothers, mum, dad, sister, and everybody played an instrument. I was the one that was left out, twiddling my thumbs at Saturday, Christmas time like that. I think, what do I do? And I wanted to get involved, so I decided to get involved and try something myself. So.
Well, you don't just have your brains in your feet then. Clearly not.
No.
That's
The only
saying,
place.
by the way. I do hate that saying with all them commentators. Like, I mean, his brains must be. Oh God! Oh, it does drive me absolutely mad.
I don't know.
But I thought I'd just throw that one in.
Because of course you had a hugely successful football career, which we just need to remind people of, Dion. 111 Premier League goals, almost 200 goals in total. These days, are you more recognised for your success as a footballer or for Homes Under the Hammer?
Now, depends where I am. I can be in the supermarket, and I'm walking in the supermarket with my wife. She might be a yard behind me, and I'll walk by a lot of older couples, and they will stop behind me, but in front of my wife, and they'll be saying, "That's Dion Dublin from Homes Under the Hammer." Whereas if I'm at a footy match, it's all different.
Yeah.
But anywhere else apart from football, it's all about Homes Under the Hammer. Oh, that's the guy from the telly on the houses. I'm thinking, I used to play
Is it
football.
mostly women then?
The older generation.
Yeah.
Yes, the older generation.
No, because obviously
absolutely, yeah. And listen, I'm more than happy with it. I really am. Because I love Homes Under the Hammer. I love doing the job. I love that I've found something else to do.
Absolutely.
You know, I love talking about the football. It's what I know inside out, what we know inside out, as in the game. But when it comes to testing yourself and taking yourself out of your comfort zone, you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Dion, we always ask our listeners for questions, and our listeners, our viewers, you can always send in your questions to us via Twitter or YouTube. I had more questions for you than for any other guest, and I'm not going to lie, Dion, I think there was one football question in there. Just one. Somebody...
That doesn't surprise me.
Someone messaged in to say that they were watching Football Focus and their wife walked in and said, "Why is the guy from Homes Under the Hammer on Football Focus?"
Well, that's just because they don't know about... The thing about it is now, because I'm a little bit older now and I've been retired a long time, the people now that are watching the footy programmes and stuff probably wouldn't have known me as a player. Maybe towards the back end, maybe the last 2 years, but they've never really seen me as a player. And they've only seen me come onto the presenting scene through the houses. So I don't mind it at all. Thank you for recognising me anyway.
The last time you were on as well, we spoke about your famous phrase that everybody says about you. And even though we talked about it last time, Sam, I swear I had 25 messages of people wanting to ask you a question around about stairs going up
to the bedrooms.
To the bedrooms. Daniel wants to ask if you've ever gone upstairs and found that there aren't any bedrooms.
Yes, I have, many times. I've been upstairs in houses in and around the country where they've gone to doors. So you go up top of the stairs and you open the door and there's nothing. It's just a drop. So I've been in so many different scenarios, so many houses that we go to as well, by the way, on Homes Under the Hammer, that we go in and we go, better not go in there. Because
Really?
And obviously you can't get on the TV, but you get the aroma and you think, not today. Right. They've either had pets or maybe been growing something. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll say no more on that.
I mentioned we had so many questions, Sam.
I'm not surprised.
And one of them, well, actually a few of them were about a Twitter account. Do you know the Twitter account Brian's Gun? Sam is laughing. Sam,
I watched it this morning.
Have you seen the clips, Sam?
I have seen the clips, yeah.
Have you seen the clips, Dion?
Yeah, many times.
I mean, the lad who goes, whatever person it is, who goes through all that trouble to put all that together, absolutely. I find it really funny.
How long must it take him?
I don't know.
Do them?
I don't know. I mean, he's a real expert by whoever it is, a real expert at it. So
he must. I don't know. He or she must just sit and study the managers, the presenters, what they're saying. Take out that word, drop it in, and there's like 20 people on these, and he's dropped them in perfectly, and they're actually telling a story through everybody else's words. Just brilliant. Fair play to you, mate. Well done.
Very good.
Well done.
Have you ever been in contact with them? Have you ever messaged them and said, very good, very funny?
Not yet. When I'm skint, I might give him a shout.
I love it. It's brilliant. We had a Twitter channel that was doing it with our videos for a while, and they kept taking clips of Sam and the guests and turning it into funny things. It's a huge talent. So should we talk some football?
Yes, let's talk some football. That's why we're here. No Tippy Tappy Football, yeah.
Please.
There is a heck of a lot of football going on right now.
There is.
And at the weekend just gone, there was what was being billed as the biggest game of the season, which I'm now calling the biggest anticlimax of the season. Obviously, City taking on Arsenal. What did you make, Sam, of Arsenal's approach in the game?
Well, if it was me, I'd have been given a load of stick about how negative I am and how my tactics are not the best to do or whatever it might be. And of course, probably somebody called it a masterclass of defending, but it wasn't really. It was asking the team not to lose. You know, let's not lose this game, because any point at Man City at the moment is valuable. And that's exactly what they set out to do. It was in the term, or the best term I can give it, which come from Jose, who used to do the same himself. It was parking the bus, and it was a double-decker, not a single-decker. So they parked the bus, and I totally understand the tactics. And he's there to win the league this time. He blew it last year, without a doubt. I mean, he gave it away, and I think he may have learnt his lesson, and he's developing more and more himself as a manager, his first time in, and his players are responding to the new signings, have made them better. The centre half, without a doubt, was the reason they lost the league last year. You know, I mentioned the centre half, don't you? Because you mean going all the time about clean sheets.
Always.
Is it Gabriel?
Gabriel. Saliba.
He was missing last year, and it's probably why they lost the league, because that's when they started conceding goals. Yeah. He is there, and he's the number one centre half in the country at the moment.
It's odd, but I feel it's not great to watch. It was a horrible game for me.
I was.
You know, I'm with you. I thought, here we go.
Yeah.
3-2, 2-2, whatever it may be.
I mean, West Ham and Newcastle, what's that one? And you go, oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And I watch Moisey and I'm going, oh, that's going to be a bad journey home for you, mate. But, you know, but then obviously this one was everybody looking forward to it. And I have to say, that doesn't happen very often now.
No.
But it happened on this occasion, and you have to give Arteta full marks, personally.
No, I agree. I mean, we were all expecting it to be the West Ham Newcastle game, to be honest with you, but it wasn't to be. So as a spectacle, we were all a little bit, gosh, I'd got the pizzas in and all the drinks in ready to go, and it was a bit of a letdown, but I think Sam's nailed it. You've got to give Arteta credit. Man United did it at Liverpool, I think.
Yeah,
as well this season.
0-0.
It was 0-0, and it was boring to watch, but they got what they wanted. Going to Anfield's difficult, going to the Etihad's difficult. But Arteta's thinking, right, hold it a minute, what did I do last time wrong that I can't get wrong this time? And you have to tiptoe around City. You've got to go, right, what do we do here to stop them? Because they can score goals from anywhere. So you have to do everything right on the training ground, and Sam would have done it 20, 30,000 times on the training ground, where you go, right, we're going to play like this, and this is how we're going to stay. To get anything, we've got to do it like this. And Arteta's gone, right, lads, it's going to be boring, but on this occasion, bear with me, stay in here, let's defend, let's get a point, and then we'll win the rest of them. I just think it's sensible play. Horrible to watch. Wouldn't want to play in it myself, but if it means I'm going to get a point at the Etihad, which may get us over the line, I'll take it all day long.
I just feel like he's handed it to Liverpool, though, because they're in the driving seat now.
No, not particularly. There's 8, 9 games left, and I think there's a lot to happen between now and then. Like I mean, and all those three will think that we can't lose again between now and the end of the season. We might get away with a draw, but we'll have to win 7 out of 8. Draw 1 might do it. So they'll slip up somewhere. Don't know who it might be, but they will slip up somewhere. I mean, my biggest surprise is not Arsenal, because they should have won it last year, is the way Liverpool have responded to this season with the youngsters that have coming through, and sometimes not quite the level that they were at
a
couple of years ago. But again, like Arsenal did, they've dug out games and they've managed to win the games when they haven't performed quite to their best. Where Man City, if anything that they've slipped up on this year, they've been easier to score against than ever before. So if they put that right, I think they're going to go the whole season. And of course, when we're talking about Mikel Arteta on now, I think he's learning and what he's doing is you get this. They play the right way. And I've had managers say to me when I first got in, like, you know, this is in my office after, well, you did well today, like you mean, and I'm going, you played well, you know, and I'm going, are you taking the piss? We just lost 3-1.
Exactly, yeah.
2-1. So I changed the styles whenever we come to them, and then music to my ears was like, you know, the manager would go out and say, I can't believe, you know, how defensive they were. It was, you know, we couldn't get past them, and they managed to nick a goal at the end, and I'm going, yeah, we've won.
You have to cut your cloth, don't you?
Yeah. So you get sucked into these managers telling you about how well you play, and you go there and say like, oh, you know, we're going to do this and do that, and they're trying to play well at Liverpool. You know, I've won at Man City, I've won at Liverpool, I've won at Man United by choosing the right tactics with the right players on that particular day and being able to communicate with them just for that week on how we're going to play. And that's why I lasted so long, because if players could respond to that organisation and that will to adjust, and, you know, we got to play like this, we got to play, you know, you can't play the same way all the time. Not even Man City play the same way all the time. Yeah. So, you know, when it comes to what he's done and how he's set his tactics out, I think that, you know, you have to say, well done.
We had something that was commented after the game. We had a question in from Ethan. What are your thoughts on Roy Keane calling Haaland a League 2 player?
League 2?
League 2 is what he said. And then a journalist asked Pep about it in his press conference, which I always like Pep's answers.
Yeah.
But yes, what's your thoughts?
I'd take Haaland at League 1, Cambridge United, please, if you don't mind. I'll take him at Cambridge United, thank you very much. That'd be great. Keane is funny, man. Keane is a good friend of mine. I know him very well.
Oh, and, how did you get friends with Keane? He's not got that many, has he?
Yeah, there's 2 of us now.
There's 2 of you.
There's 2 of us now. You and Mike, yeah, that's it. He hates Gavin, he don't like Gavin. Listen, I take that with a pinch of salt. He's not a League 2 player at all. He's absolutely world class, in my opinion. I think Keane is probably going off his recent form, and unfortunately for Haaland, his standards have been set so high by himself through his own career, through his start at City. They're set so high. If you drop them at all and you don't score for 2 or 3 goals, then he's having a stinker and he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. He is world class. He can play in any side. He gets in any side starting as a number 9. Any side in the world, in my opinion. Alongside Harry Kane, could do exactly the same. So, League 2 player, no. Keane, you're wrong, mate. You're wrong.
He likes that dramatic outburst, so doesn't he? Like, you mean, you know.
He'll say it as it is, Keane.
Yeah,
fair play, man.
It's like, I mean, not always right, but that's why they put him on, isn't it? The controversy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it's good to hear, though, Sam. It's good to hear how straight he can be. Yes, he'll come out with some statements like this. Probably bring Roy in here now and say, is he a League 2 player? Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he'd explain it and say, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he looked like a League 2 player today.
Yeah, exactly. Which he has looked poor of late, again, judging by his own standards.
I would say that a lot of coaches have done their homework on him.
Yeah.
After his first season and gone, our main aim is to set about limiting his opportunities to score goals. If we're ever to get a point off Man City or a win, we have to shut down.
Yeah.
So particular attention and knowledge of how he played last year has been clipped together through the analysts. The manager, coaches sits down with the defenders and goes, and probably one of the defensive midfield players, and saying block him.
Yeah.
In terms of his service, you know, and you lads, if you're going to let balls go in behind you, have to give yourself an extra yard because he's powerful.
Yeah.
And in the box, you must pay particular attention to him and don't take your eyes off where he is. And that might be limiting his chances a bit more because I still think Manchester City are creating a lot, but he now has to work out how to deal with that, and then become.
Yeah.
Was it 13 he's got?
He's got 18 Premier League goals.
18 Premier League goals.
He's still the
and
Premier League's top scorer.
How many has he missed though this year as well? Actually,
Big chances.
No
Games.
games.
Oh, games. Sorry, games. Oh, yeah, loads.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
So he has got.
He's still top goal
still
scorer.
top goal scorer.
Yeah, he's on 18. Salah's on 16, and I think is it Solanke's on 16 as well. I think so. Yeah.
Listen,
He don't miss many, does he?
No.
That's the beauty of him.
He's top end for me.
Yeah,
absolute top end. And you're right, though. I think this is when it's the second season thing we talk about all the time. Players come to the league, you think, oh, wow, and you get surprised. You go, what happened there? How did he score that many goals? Because you don't know how he plays, and now you've done his research, and you've got to keep him there, but you've got to give yourself a bit of space. Teams are now dropping off, giving themselves, okay, well, you can have the space in front of us, and we'll back ourselves to defend deep, because we don't want to give him space because he'll score goals. So it's finding out ways to do that. And when he does find a way, and he will find a way to score goals again, that's when he'll become prolific again.
And there's world class in the box.
Yeah, 100%.
You can say outside the box, hold up, play this. That really, it's good. It's really Premier League level, but world class wise, is him in the box.
Yeah, dangerous, isn't it?
Or down the side, and he's finishing of all types.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what he does, and I'll point this out just as we finish on Haaland. What he does better than most is if there's a half chance, he'll take the half chance. And you've watched many centre forwards or many players in the box where they've got a chance, they've got a half chance, but they want to make it a full chance, so they take a touch to make it an easier chance for them. By the time you're taking that touch, you're wiped out.
Yeah.
Haaland will go, bam, I'll take it. Or I'll take my chance on the half chance because I might not get a full chance.
First touch finish.
And that's what he does. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. And if he's taking a touch, like Salah, his preparation for that touch is amazing. He goes bam, bam. It's just incredible to watch. It really is.
You mentioned Harry Kane a minute ago.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend who's a City fan whose opinion I do respect. And he still very much believes that Harry Kane would have been a better buy for City than Haaland.
Really?
What do you think?
I don't know. Well, you don't know, do you? We will never know that. We will never know.
He'd be a better buy for Man United.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Harry Kane can play just as well outside the box and make assists as he is in the box.
Better footballer, I think.
I think that's without a doubt. You couldn't argue with that. When you see Harry dropping into the hole off the front line, and he picks the ball up and he comes and he looks up and he just goes bang, bang, and he plays somebody in who's on the run, like you mean, and that's where there's a difference, and obviously he's goal scoring.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock him for what he's done in Germany, but it's a lot easier to score there. It's not quite the same level as the Premier League, so I'm really pleased for him, like you mean. And,
definitely, yeah. I think he's better.
Of course, his strive for a league win hasn't going to happen this year. Which is unbelievable because Alonso's team have gone undefeated in all competitions. So that's some record to start off your coaching career there.
They could still win the Champions League though. They've got Arsenal.
Yes, they could. Yeah, they've got Arsenal. That's going to be a difficult task on the form Arsenal are in. It's amazing, isn't it, how a Dubai trip changes your fortune.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm Mr.
Arsenal
Dubai
went
man.
away.
I started Dubai back in early 2000.
Did you really?
Monitored all the progress the team made when we actually got back and used to send it in to the FA and the Premier League to say we must have a break at Christmas because these are the facts on what happens when you just have 4, 5, 6 days off in the sunshine. So it was synonymous in terms of what we wanted to achieve.
When did you go, Sam? When did you go?
2000.
2000.
With Bolton, 2001.
2001.
Bolton started
24
with Bolton,
years, 25 years, 24 years.
And then obviously it caught on with a few.
Wow.
But the trouble was, Dion, you used to get all this, like, they're going on they're doing this drinking and all, they're doing this and that. Well, of course, you let them free for a day or two and then you go...
Working.
That's it, when we started to work. And the benefits of the improvement of the team's overall performance, because we could monitor it with Prozone, and used to send all that in, injuries reduced, and it was just, the evidence was, you couldn't argue against the evidence, but obviously just me sending it in was completely ignored. I think they try and do it now, don't they? But we're suffering more injuries than ever before. as fit as players are because of the overload. But yeah, I mean, it's a great look at what they've done and saying undefeated. I think 1-8 on the trot, and they've got the draw, so that's 9 undefeated, 8 wins and 1 draw on just 4 or 5 days in Dubai.
Yeah, we did Dubai actually, Villa. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sam. Cheers.
Yeah, everywhere I went, it was, and one thing I like to do is take the lads to Dubai in the right time.
Brilliant.
Normally, if we're international week or at the cup, we got that opportunity to just
it's great.
chill out.
It's great.
You know as well as me that winter period with all those games and all that. Everybody enjoying themselves. Christmas and New Year, you got 6 or 7, 8 games that month going into January and then coming out the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great. Full marks to them.
So Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, Sam, have been linked to one of your former players, Archie Gray from Leeds.
Yes, Archie.
What did you make of Archie when you were there?
Well, Archie was just my brief spell wasn't long enough, which was a great shame for such a great club for me. But he was with the first team most of the time training, and obviously Eddie is there as an ambassador. Like I mean, so speaking to Eddie and looking at him, thinking that it's just, you know what I mean. It's like but
silky,
so much more difficult to be. So there's 3, because there's Eddie, there's Frankie, and then there's Archie. You know what I mean? So it's like some generation of family if he actually makes it Leeds. But obviously, if somebody is trying to pinch him already, it's amazing how many foreign clubs are looking at our youngsters over here and want to take them abroad, isn't it? So is it? Did you say it was?
Bayern and Real are both rumoured, Sam.
Well, Leeds and his family, and hopefully would, and of course depends on the lad himself whether he feels he can handle it going abroad at that stage. If it's they don't speak English or he has to learn the language, is he capable? Some are and some aren't.
Big step, isn't it? Big step. Leaving the country, leaving your family, and I think our academies are doing so well. The academies in this country are outstanding.
At last.
Yeah, at last. And it's taken a long time. They're getting the education of the kids as well from a very young age, especially at City, because you've got everything in place. And I just believe that's allowing the lads to concentrate a bit more on their football because they're getting all they need from their football club. And then, they're getting the education and they're getting the education on the pitch as well. And I think the clubs like Bayern and Real and they like that about a rounded young person, whether it's a boy or a girl. They look and they think, well, what are they like? How do they stand? How do they talk? How do they, how do they act? Are they one of us? Can they handle? Sam mentioned playing for Man United. It's very different. Can they handle the brand of Real and the brand of Bayern and walk tall? It's hard to carry a big club as well as play for a big club as well. So they must be doing something right, our academies.
Jude's just making it look easy, isn't it?
Well, he is, yeah. Well, he just gets on with it because he's the best in the business.
I've got a lot to say on the academies because, it's a shirking responsibility from the education system and the government, which has been an absolute disgrace over the last 25 years, 30 years. School stopped. My son came home crying. Craig came home crying. He's nearly 50 now, so he came home crying when he was 14. That's how long ago. When Margaret Thatcher shut down schools playing football and other sports after school hours, stopped paying the teachers, can't do it. So football completely stopped. I don't know whether it started up again now, but it certainly hasn't started up to any great level whatsoever.
School now.
You know what I mean? So, but that left teachers who were PE teachers and so on who were absolutely distraught on the fact that the government, as usual, try to stop people having a game, keep him fit. The obesity in this country, this is a rant, by the way, the obesity in this country is a disgrace because of them, because of the lack of nutrition, the lack of exercise, lack of physical exercise at school, parents being brainwashed into academic qualifications, and most of them don't get where they want to go anyway and have a shitload of debt. And then all of a sudden, football clubs have to take up the mantra and start satellite schools at 6 and then go from there to 9 and go from 9 to 16. Yeah. Parents have to drive in every day. They don't even get time off school. I think it's once a week. they get time off school to go into the football club.
Yeah.
It should be.
Be.
It's been proven that if you start up an education academy like they did at Lilleshall, the top quality players you'll get like Michael Owen who go there, and they only went at 14 and ended up in the first team before they're 18. Like you mean, so there's a complete and utter disregard for sport and the quality of sport in this country. So football's mantra to take it up has been absolutely magnificent by the quality of player. It's why Scotland are suffering because they're developing players. It's why Ireland is suffering now, but England has at least taken up. And of course, one of the biggest problems is you fight to keep the academy open because the financial director is saying, what are we getting for the cost of this?
What's the reward,
What is the reward? So it is, as usual, this country, and it's falling apart, this country, not just that now, it's falling apart in every other sector because you watch what's happening now, you watch social care, you watch what's happening everywhere, and it's just falling apart.
Sam, would you ever go into politics? Would you ever?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I would. Not so sure I could actually get enough knowledge and education to actually be and cope with those guys because they are very, very, very good at what they do. You know, if you have to, I think you have to learn for a long time how to be a politician and cope with what happens there. But certainly, it's time to come together and put the country back on track. It's not keep bitching at each other all the time. We're all sick of it. None of them are standing out saying, I look like I can handle this country or sort this country out. None of them can take the big step. Forget about all the other people and look after ourselves first before we look after everybody else. Because ourself is in a big, big, bad way. Homeless people dying because they can't get an appointment at the hospital. My friend went tried to go NHS to go to the hospital and he's got cancer, and it was November before he had to go private, pay for himself to try and get treated, try and save his life. Because now that's all government. Yeah, selling beds off. Did you hear that one? That was on YouTube. Never came on the news. Why do the news not publicise it anymore? Why is the news just doing what they do and not doing what's really happening in this world, in this country particularly?
Showing us what's
and they
going on.
keep covering it up and saying, we're not doing... So you can only find out the real truth if you actually go on YouTube now or the social media sites, because people are coming up there instead of getting cancelled. And the government's cancelling them.
You should go into politics.
You know what I mean? It's not the.
I'm actually listening to this.
You know what I mean? It's the government.
Brilliant.
It's the government that's saying let's cancel him. Let's cancel him. You know what I mean? It's really, freedom of speech. When did that went years ago? Absolute years ago. Sorry about that,
no,
but
a certain political party should be trying to get Sam as ambassador.
Really does get to me.
I like it when you're passionate.
But I can watch more because I'm not managing football club now. I watch more and more of it.
You see more.
I'm going, what is happening now? Let's get back on track.
Fair points, mate. Fair points. Well said.
Sorry about that, but
no,
it's not doing football.
Rant away, sir. It's your podcast.
Your podcast, Sam. Say what you want.
Do what you want.
So we were talking about Bayern, and obviously with your Aston Villa link as well. I'd love to get your opinion on this. Bayern are being, because obviously if they don't win anything, that is, horrendous for them.
Yeah, it is.
They're being linked to Villa's manager, to Unai Emery, who has just been unbelievable for Villa, hasn't he?
He has.
I mean, how important is it for Villa that he stays there, and what do you make of him?
I think, listen, for a club like Villa that's kind of been sleeping when it comes to success and winning things, he's been sleeping for a long time, and it's a big club, Villa. It's a very, very big club. And a lot of people
forget they won the European
Cup,
exactly, Champions League.
They won the
They won the he won way back there, in my day.
Absolutely.
They used to sing it when they came to City. You've never won a European Cup.
All right. We don't sing it anymore. we sing it at lots of clubs, but not City anymore. But I just think he's gone in there, and I know people that work at the football club. Ian Taylor, as well, as an ambassador. He's always there. Yeah. He say, Dion, it's just turn it round. He walks around and he involves everybody, like I would imagine Sam did. All the kit men and people that make the tea and that kind of stuff. The old school people,
the people that gel everything together.
Correct. They're the backbone to the football club. Forget what happens on the pitch. They're the ones. If you haven't got them, then you got no football club. And you make sure that they are looked after and everybody gets decent money and everybody's got a good job and they get respected. The players say hello to everybody. So I think he does a lot more than just coaching the side to be better. Yeah, he manages. That's
people.
Exactly
That's
what he does.
He
does,
you know, it's not.
That's
you know,
exactly
it's not,
right.
You manage your people. You manage. You get a response, and you get. It's the old saying, isn't it? You know, they don't work for you. You got to get them to work with you.
Yeah.
And if you get that, then you'll get success. Like you mean, I think that's important.
Yeah, they have been brilliant.
And he's learned that over. I mean, he's had many experiences, isn't he? Like with Seville.
Yeah.
Winning the Europa League often, and then was he Tottenham? Arsenal. Sorry, he didn't have such a great time. Like you mean, so and then all of a sudden he started to come back again and took Villa very quickly into a very, 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 very good position, and obviously improved again with the summer signings. So yeah, I hope they finish in the top 4.
Do you think they will finish in the top 4?
I think they've got a massive opportunity that they can. Yes, you know,
I think they will.
There's only 8 games left, and the there or thereabouts, they can do it.
I think they've got in the game at the moment. It's changed from our time being in the game, but in the game at the moment, there's very few players playing in the Premier League that will stick their head above the parapet and say, "I'll look after us, our leaders." There's not many about anymore that will take charge. City have got them, Arsenal have got them, Villa have got them, Mings, McGinn, the keeper, Konza, players that are happy
Keeper's
to...
unbelievable.
Players that will stand up and go, right, let me have my say, let me make sure that we get over the line. The gaffer's told us to do this, but listen, just for 15 minutes, let's do this because we're 1 up and let's get to half. Whatever it may be, they've got leaders there and men and characters, and that's made a difference. And I think Unai Emery's allowed players to do that. He's allowed... I've never known a centre-forward to be told... You do less running about. Stop running over there and stop running over there.
Great bit of coaching.
Just stay there. I don't want you there. You stay there. Do less.
Stay in the box.
Do less. It's great. He never said that to me. He said, get back, Dublin. Get forward, Dublin. I just do everything. And now Ollie is setting the world alight because he's just doing his job. And that's down to the manager saying, right, just stay there. Don't do that. Stay there. We'll get the ball to you. Do your job, score goals. And he's flying.
You're so right about the characters as well. It makes me think, I've got a 6-year-old son I talk about sometimes called Reggie, and he's got a Man City season ticket. He doesn't know he's born, Dion. He's had a season ticket his whole life. He's 6.
Right.
And he never goes to weekday games.
He can't support anybody else, can he?
Well, he doesn't really have a choice, Sam. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, but not with his mum.
He's really into football now, and he's really into other players, big name players. Yes. So I said, it's the school holidays. Do you want to go and watch the Aston Villa game, Man City versus Aston Villa? And he thought for a minute, and he said, is Martinez going to be playing?
No way.
And his reason for wanting to go was to see Martinez.
Yes.
Which is how important the characters are in football.
Yeah, gesticulation, and he's buoyant. You can notice him. Most players in a football match, you will notice they will affect a football match in some way, shape or form. On the eye, on the ear, they'll affect a game. In the game with a pass or a goal, they'll affect you watching the game. You go, oh, that was great. Or did you hear that? Or did you see that? They're the characters that you notice in the game. They're very few and far between now. Let's get it right. Yeah. Some great players. We have the best players in the world playing in our league, but characters-wise, we are well down, well short.
Although he likes Cristiano Ronaldo, Sam, so there's a good chance that he might be thrown out one day.
If you like football, you'll love it.
You love him.
You'll love. I mean, we had probably the best time watching Messi and Ronaldo compete against each other every year in year out in Spain for 10 years on the trot. And both hitting late 30s and 40 goals every year.
Yeah.
Both of them not centre forwards. I mean, Ronaldo might have ended up there a bit later on in his life, but he was always wide, left or right. Messi just went anywhere he wanted, and there was 40, Ballon d'Or every year they were there. Who is it? Which one is it this year?
Yeah.
Occasionally somebody else might came in and win it, but it was a real time to watch two world class.
Just incredible. One of the strangest things is this is how good. If I give you some figures, this is how good Ronaldo was at scoring goals, and I think Ronaldo's the better goal scorer. I think Messi's the better footballer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get
That's what I think. Ronaldo's the best goal scorer in the world. For all he scored. And this is why. I scored 111 Premier League goals. He has scored and I think this is right, and double check it.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Something like 63 hat-tricks. What? How could you have done that?
Somebody said that Haaland would have to score. I don't know who did this stat. They'd have to score 50 goals a year to
get to Ronaldo. It's crazy. Can someone check that for me? Check how many.
Because of how long he's played. Like, because I remember him coming on a sub against Bolton when I was manager, when he'd just been bought from Portugal, and I think Sir Alex only bought him by. They played him in a pre-season friendly, and he played. And
Ronnie.
And he went, who's that? Let's buy him. I'm sure it was. You know, I think they'd have known about him, but he must have gone, wow. But he came on a sub against Bolton, destroyed Nicky Hunt at the time. And he went, and obviously he went from there.
Nicky Hunt will be delighted.
Yeah, I know, poor old. Sorry about that, Nicky, but he gave you a hard time, lad, did he? And I went, and I'm standing on the dugout like that, I'm going, wow. You know.
Great to watch, great to watch. I mean, so many hat-tricks. 60, 55, 63, I don't care what it is. If you've scored that many hat-tricks.
I can't wait for his son to come on board. Have you seen his little...
Reggie watches YouTube videos about Ronaldo's son.
Ronaldo 2 coming up. I wonder if he'll be as good.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
The
pressure.
Do you think should I buy Reggie an Al Nassr shirt or not? Like, I just don't want to.
Buy him a Martinez shirt, Aston Villa.
You're right. Shirt. That's how I'll distract him. Okay, right.
Buy him a Martinez shirt.
Thank you, Dion. I appreciate that. You mentioned Ollie Watkins a minute ago. He's having a phenomenal season as well. Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, both having great seasons. Which one would you be? Would you be a backup to Harry Kane? Would you start? What would be your thinking with the?
You take them both. There's no question. In my opinion, you take them both.
Yeah.
So Harry Kane.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Harry Kane is the man. We know that. Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins, there's your backup. Take them both. That's what I would do. Because then you've got an array of... You've got 3 talents that cover everything that you need. Heading, tackling, passing from Kane, speed, everything. You've got the lot. Take them both. Don't get sucked into the debate. Who does? He's done this. He's done that.
Are they 3 short for the first time? Is it 23 and 20 instead of 26?
I think it's 23, isn't it?
Is it?
It's 23. I thought it used to be. I don't know.
26. I think it was 26.
It used to be 26, didn't it? And I think they've cut it to 23.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because I think I missed out. I missed out on a tournament when there was 28, and I think or 29. 6 of us missed out, and 23 went or something. Right. Like that. So it's probably 28, 29. Which is the big squad, and then you go down to 23, I would imagine. Something like that. I'm not
There'll
quite
be
sure.
injuries and all sorts at the end of the season, which we obviously don't want to see, but, you know.
That'd be hard to better, wouldn't it, really? You think of the strikers around the world. There's some great strikers, but form-wise, you got Harry Kane, and then you got Ivan Toney, who's just coming back, and he's finding his form. And then you got Ollie Watkins, who's flying. That's incredible power.
I've said many times, Dion, we've got the best squad in the world.
Yeah.
Best squad.
Squad of players, yeah. The choice we have.
We've got, like Man City for me, we've got 2 for every position.
Yeah.
And the 2 are just as good as each other. So if one's out and one comes in, there's a very rare, there's a problem.
It's like for like, isn't it? They're as good as, aren't they?
That's how good they are. But, you know, that's why Man City have done all what they've done, like, I mean, because they are. One drops out, one drops in, and you just go, oh, well, it's no different.
No, there isn't any
different.
It's. I don't know why I get so excited when England start playing.
Yeah,
the competition. Yeah, when the competition comes around, I'm thinking, can you come over early? 2 hours early, we'll get the drinks in, we'll have the food, big games on. Don't sit there.
Is it pizza or curry?
Well, a bit of both, actually.
Both,
a bit of both, yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah, a bit of both.
If I come to your house to watch England, you'd have pizza and curry on as an option.
Yeah. As a City fan, it's a tenner.
Okay, no worries.
As a City fan, it costs you a tenner to come through the door, I'm afraid. I'm married to a Liverpool fan, so there you go. I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
I don't know how managed that.
Yeah. Sam, what about you? If you're watching the Euros in the summer, what's your snacks of choice or your food of choice?
Well, obviously it's a couple of beers, and mine wouldn't be curry. It would probably be pizza.
Yeah. It's easy, isn't it? Because you can watch the game and stuff.
Yeah, and I maybe throw the odd pasta in here and there if we wanted to.
Nice.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? So
see, that's just posh, though.
Yeah.
That is posh.
Sam used to be down to earth, you know. He used to be dead down to earth.
Yeah, onion rings if you come my house, Dion.
So yes, get it.
I love that.
I've got a big, you know, the telly's now brilliant because it's got quite a big screen TV, like you mean. So
they're great, aren't they?
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Press the sport.
Well, we're counting down. But there's a lot of football to be played between then and now, not just in the Premier League, because one of your former clubs is could be either having a great season, could have a phenomenal season. Of course, Coventry battling for playoff place in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. I covered their game for the radio, Huddersfield versus Coventry. Yeah. They're impressive. Ellis Sims, Haji Wright are both having phenomenal seasons. But then when you look at Mark Robbins and how long he's been there and what he's been through with the situation that they went through with the ground and everything that's happened, is he the most underrated manager in England? And are you surprised that he's not been poached?
Yeah. I'm delighted he hasn't been poached because I think he's enjoying his football. I think he likes the football club. And I think the fans have responded to what he's done. I think he's been very patient with the football club. I would imagine, and Sam will answer this better than me, but managers under that pressure, the regime at the time, which wasn't working, it was a little bit skew if things were happening, he didn't know what was going on. Am I getting any money to spend? Am I not? The club was in a terrible state, playing at Northampton, playing at Birmingham, all their home games. Yeah. It was just all over the place. And he's just stayed and kept it stable and kept them in the Championship, which I think has been a great feat, to be fair, by the way. And they play great football. And they're being successful. And they get to playoff finals and FA Cup quarterfinals. It's just down to him. It's down to Mark Robbins and the way that he said to the lads, let's circle the wagons and let's look after the playing side of things. Stay with me, stay together, and we can achieve. Forget that. I'll make sure you're getting paid. I'll make sure the staff get paid. Let's just stay together and we'll be okay. And that's what he's done. And I think you're right. I'm glad nobody's come to get him, but I think he's enjoying his time at Coventry.
They're talking about crisis at Everton and, has it affected them because they've had the points deduction, the financial fair. That's nothing to what Mark Robbins has had to put up with.
Yeah.
He's a club going out of business, going bust, losing its ground, going to another ground. This is not just happened one season; it's happened time and time again. Yeah. So what Everton are in a great position to avoid what's happened to them this year, and then, of course, it's only what they haven't won one that was last December. So everybody talks about the you've got to manage that. The manager has to manage it. The manager has to he has managed it brilliantly. He has been through. He must go home sometimes and thought, can I keep doing this? And he's getting up every morning. He's going in and making everybody feel that they're not in a crisis, because you cannot. Players will go under if they see the manager the slightest chink in his armour, and they go, he's not, all going that same way. And he has managed to come through that with flying colours, and of course, never mentioned for a great.
He hasn't moaned, has
for
he?
Coventry.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't moaned, but never mentioned for a bigger job. Never even on any journalist shortlist, and you often wonder, well, is that because he keeps himself to himself and goes about his job and doesn't do it? Because sometimes, if you're going to do it, you have to promote yourself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to get out there and say, "Here I am, come and get me." Because one thing for sure, there's no loyalty the other way. Yeah. You can get up in the Premier League, and then you start off bad, and then no matter how much you've done and what you've done, you're sacked.
How's he done it, Sam? You've been in that position.
I think he's done it by working 24/7, by getting on the road, by finding out where the players are, by working within. Well, this is only my experience. I don't know whether he does or doesn't. Working with the constraints that you're under. With no point in wasting time on people we can't afford or players we can't afford. Finding out players' character that are they're going to be flawed because of what they cost you and who they are. So they're flawed, but there's a flaw in the makeup. Can you deal with that? Can you help them? Can you help them to play better? Because you can help them in the day-to-day life, because that can be slightly flawed. And I think that your staff that you pick to work alongside you have to be capable of coming to you and saying this and not being afraid to open up and have the right discussions to develop and build a relationship between the staff and the players in with his staff, the staff with the players, and from there, his choices on where are the players I can get, and he's chosen whoever's chosen them.
Yeah.
Whether it's him or he's, or he's head of recruitment. It's wonderful if you, and I've only had this once. It's wonderful if you can trust an head of recruitment without you watching him yourself. I've only ever had one in my entire career. So if he's got one of those, you've got that much faith in him, he's a diamond, and that's a lot of pressure.
Flying, yeah, of course.
Well, I'm going to call it early, Dion, for the semi-final. That's going to be it. Are you going to go 2 of your former clubs?
Now, I'm not in the country.
Oh, no way, really?
Nah, I'm away. I'm going to Dubai with Sam.
Oh, where are you going?
I think I'm in Singapore.
Oh, wow.
What a place.
Singapore.
Love it.
And then I'm going to Kuala Lumpur, yeah. So I'm not even in the country.
Kuala Lumpur, I've been there as well.
Are they great?
Working.
Yeah, working. Well, yeah.
A working holiday.
Working holiday. Exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
Well, I think that Coventry are going to give them a right good going. I think Coventry have got a chance.
They have got a chance.
Good going, I think.
A right good going, Sam.
Good going.
Right good going.
Right good.
I just think that Sims and Wright, they don't need a lot of chances. They don't. When I saw them against Huddersfield, they took the chances that they had.
Yeah.
And I think if they do that, if they hold on and they get 1 or 2 chances.
No, listen, they
can do it.
They are where they are on merit.
Yes.
Without a doubt. And United aren't in a great place. United are not playing great football. If all United's players turn up and give us 9 out of 10, they'll win the game. If there's a chink in Man United's armory, City will win the game. So City have got a great chance of winning that game. No hesitation whatsoever.
Yes.
Of course they have. United will go into the game. If United go into the game with the wrong attitude, and I've been in the situation where you're playing... Cambridge United got into different. I know Cambridge are a smaller club than Coventry. However, we got into 2 quarterfinals, one against Arsenal, one against Crystal Palace, and we went for it. Cambridge United, John Beck's Cambridge United back in the day. Yeah. We were horrible people, horrible club to play against, and we did everything to make it uncomfortable.
Get your reaches in.
Get the reaches and all that kind of stuff, and we were horrible.
Paradise Alley.
Arsenal, Paradise Alley, all that. That's all true, Quality Street, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they'd come to us and we'd make it. They beat us. But they had to play their best. I think it's the same thing for United. If United come with the attitude of, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, if they have the attitude they showed against Brentford, what's going on?
They'll struggle. They'll struggle.
I went to Man United, Everton, right? And I was flabbergasted how poor Man United were on the day. And how many opportunities that Everton had that they missed. I mean, they had far more attempts at goal than Man United on the day. Man United only won on the fact they got 2 penalties, which were penalties probably in today's world, but
in today's world.
But I watched Man United Liverpool, and I thought, ooh, wow, what a performance that was! Like, I mean, that was. I must admit, only highlights of Brentford Man United. Brentford absolutely battered them. Something like 30 odd attempts at goal. Like, you mean, and they, for whatever reason, they were going deflected wide, past the post, over the bar, hit the post, and then right at the death, I think it was the 88th minute, or might have been more, Man United scored. And it was like, oh my God. And
how's that happened? Yeah.
How's that happened? Then all of a sudden, you go up the other end and it's an equaliser, like you mean, which was thoroughly deserved. But, he said his team, Brentford, absolutely magnificent. Man United were like, wow, what? So in 3 games, you've got this Jekyll and Hyde performance. And if they go into the semi-final, semi-final at Wembley, it's probably they'll be up for it like they were against Liverpool. But the league form has to be a real worry. Yeah, a real worry on the performance that they're giving.
Another club whose league form is really worrying at the minute is Leicester. Obviously, they were, 17
falling
points.
apart, aren't they?
Oh my God, they were so clear. People were thinking they were going to beat the championship points record. They've dropped out of the top 2. They've got, I'm not a legal expert, but they've got some financial things going on.
Players are not, if you're doing your job, really, players are not affected by that.
Yeah.
No. Not when you're so far up the league. Where the blip's gone on too long, so is that the coach's fault? Is it?
It can't just be the coach's fault.
No,
not
he has to bear the brunt of most of it. How do you get him out of it? Dion, you sit down and go, how am I getting him out? What are we not doing to get us out of this? What have we, or what should we do? So you've got to change. I mean, he hasn't been a head man before, has he?
No, he was
coach with Pep. Like, you mean, so coaching-wise, great. Management-wise, when the blip comes around and when there's doubt and people have doubt in their mind, how do you get rid of it? So you do something completely different, in my opinion. You change the format. You create another opportunity, whether it be a short period of time, whether it's a bit of shock treatment, whether it's go to Dubai, whether it's come back, whether give them 5 days off, coming back in, whether change the whole side and make them.
What's going on? Yeah.
So we still, Dion, finish the podcast with quick fire questions. Don't ask me why we're still doing quick fire questions. They never are.
They not? Yeah,
they never are, Dion. But we've got a few in here for you. So you've obviously played in some really big derby games.
Okay.
People always talk about the one
which was the best.
Robbie Savage. Oh, that wasn't my question, but we'll have that.
No, I'll have that one.
Yeah.
Best derby game,
the best derby, the most hatred, Celtic Rangers. Celtic Rangers.
Did you score?
No, I played in two. One away, one at home. 1-1 away. I think we won the one at home against Rangers. It's just the week leading up to it. Any derby is horrible. But I'm literally, and I'll tell this quickly because there's quick fire questions. Quick fire questions.
Never is, Dion.
Quick fire questions.
Never is.
So we are playing Rangers at Rangers. I'm on the bench, but I'm on the bench with Alan Thompson.
Tomo.
Yeah, Alan Thompson, left-footed Alan Thompson. Lenny, I think, is on the bench. I think Roy's on the bench with me because we sort of got us Celtic at the same time. And every time the gaffer, Gordon Strachan, is on there, he's looking around over his shoulder. I'm like this, trying to get his attention, gaffer. I'm here, gaffer. The rest of the boys are doing the laces up, and I think, what's wrong with them? Come on, don't you want to get on? What's wrong with you? Gaffer turns around, he's like that. They're looking away. I'm going, no, come on, gaffer, get me on. Dion, warm up. So I've gone down the stairs, turn left. Celtic fans are behind the goal to my left. Rangers fans are here. Rangers fans are everywhere. So I come down the stairs, bouncing about, typical, off the bench, bouncing about. Got to the first little bit of the Rangers fans to my left, jogging okay. The first coin from the crowd flies past my head, and then it's a carton of something. And then it was a plastic cup
of
what looked like apple juice, but it wasn't.
No. Oh God.
So then my speed picked up, and I'm sprinting by the end of it, and all that kind of got to the Celtic fans. I'm safe, and then they're giving me all the abuse, and then you got to come back. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm safe here. How do I get back? And the gaffer's, Dion, you coming on? I said, I don't want to come on. So the same thing happened again, but it's just that pure hatred and the feeling, and it's so bad up there that when I signed for Celtic, Peter Lawwell, is that right? Peter Lawwell was the chairman, I think, or the boss, and chief executive, whatever he was. I'm signing the papers, and there's a big glass, a big see-through piece of glass right there, and that's where the car park is. I'm signing up, and I can see, Dion, I'm going to get a car for you, a little GTI, Volkswagen GTI, just to get yourself around. I think, get in there. Signing away. Turned up, and I've seen him look out the window and go like that. And I'm signing, I've gone like
Blue.
that. It's blue.
Yeah.
It was blue. The car was blue. And he's
Can't imagine. Yeah, definitely.
Send it away. So it came back with a silver one about half an hour later.
Yeah.
I get it. I would never wear red.
Ever.
Yeah, I've seen you in red lipstick before.
Same at Liverpool.
Oh, that's my limit. That's my limit, Dion.
Isn't it?
Same at Liverpool. Everton, isn't it? You know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, but that's for me. Answer the quick fire question.
Yeah.
Celtic Rangers.
Celtic Rangers.
Quick fire.
Loved it. There is a massive derby taking place this weekend, an East Anglian derby. Norwich are playing Ipswich. Given the situation for both clubs, I mean, this has got to be one of their biggest derbies ever.
What about that manager, Ipswich, by the way?
Kieran McKenna.
Oh, wow.
Smashing it. They've been outstanding this season.
This is going to be back-to-back, isn't it?
Oh, I hope
it could be, it could be what an achievement.
They get him up last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about, how long Mick spent at Ipswich to try and get him back on track.
Yeah.
I think there's a new ownership regime, though, isn't there?
Isn't it Ed Sheeran?
I think he was wanting to get involved.
Have I just made that up?
So whoever the owner is
sponsor. Oh, he sponsors them, right?
Whoever the new ownership is has obviously looked at the situation. And don't know whether he knows anything about football or not, but certainly knows how to reinvent a football club. And found a manager that's like gone, wow.
Galvanised the club.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be the lowest wages of the top 6. Probably Coventry will be thereabouts like them. They'll be, it won't be a very high wage bill, and he's and they come back, didn't they? Beat Southampton, the weekend. Like they're now top of the league. When everybody thought about Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton probably being the ones that they're up there and staying up there. Like
absolutely, I agree.
Fascinating. Isn't it?
No, it is fascinating. I'm pleased that they're doing okay. Come on, the Canaries! Come on, the Canaries! We'll beat them. Don't you worry about that. We will beat them.
Okay, next. Okay, I've got 2 questions left for you.
Go on then.
So one of our listeners, Mike, has asked,
hi Mike.
Is Old Trafford a doer-upper, or should they demolish the place and start again?
Yeah, that's a good question. Man United's stadium's slightly behind at the moment. It really is, especially when you're sat doing the commentaries as well. Your knees next to John Murray as well. Big John Murray and Deno, big lads, and I'm like this. Nice in the cold because you're nicely huddled up together. Yeah. You go to the Etihad. Unfortunately, the Etihad, you're swinging around in your seat and you're
getting pick and mix,
and it's heated.
And it's heated as well.
I love it.
Very different. I think the fans. I personally think the fans need a new stadium.
And they can build a new stadium next to the car park. They've got the car park big enough to build a new stadium.
I think they deserve it.
And then they can demolish that one, like you mean. But you're talking $1 billion. Yeah. Probably 1.2 billion. They've already spent $1 billion on it. And I think that the size of Man United's debt is really quite worrying.
I think for the fan experience, for Manchester United fans who have been there for years and years and years, they deserve a better experience going to watch their team play. Having seen what you guys have done across the road, Spurs have done, Arsenal have done, I think Man United's fans deserve a better stadium.
Knock it down is your answer, Mike. Knock it down. Right. Finally, Nick Johnson has asked you, this is a serious one for you, Dion.
Jono.
Where are the up-and-coming places to buy a house with good local amenities and schools?
Leave it out,
This
mate.
is a classic.
Leave it out, mate. Oh,
yeah,
my God.
I like you left that one right to the end.
Thanks, Sam.
I like that.
Better than last week's condiments question.
It's pretty much his back foot now.
Yeah, I know. Football, I just got to take that cap off now.
Yeah.
Put that one over there, the housing one. I'm always, listen, if you watch Homes Under the Hammer, I'm always in Stoke. I'm always in north of the Midlands or up north. If you want value for money, buy up north, because Northerners are great people.
What a way to end it.
What a way, Dion. Thank you very much, as always.
Yes, he does.
Great to see you.
Dion, thank you for coming back again. I hope that in 12 months' time or sooner, you'll come back and see us again.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam, as always.
Pleasure, darling.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. Please do, if you're listening on a podcast, come and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, come and listen to us on our podcast too. We much appreciate it. Thank you for being with us. This has been another episode of No Tippy Tappy Football, brought to you by William Hill.